Hello, friends. Have you ever thought about what could be worse than death itself? That you could have been buried alive, creating a connection between life and death? Today, we will tell you about 5 real and unexpected stories about people who were buried alive. Are you ready? Let's go. Story 1. A miracle on the battlefield. Our first story takes place during the First World War. One German soldier named Friedrich, after a heavy battle, was declared dead and buried right on the battlefield. However, a few days later, his fellow officers noticed strange noises. It was him, alive and well. He was able to survive by burrowing under a layer of earth and then escape to his own. This story surprises with its surprise. Don't you think that sometimes life can surprise even in the most desperate situations? Story 2. Doctors' mistakes. The following story happened in the 19th century. A woman named Emily with coma symptoms was pronounced dead and buried. A few days later, her family decided to visit the grave, and lo and behold, they heard her screams from the grave. How could this happen? The doctor's mistake played a role. Fortunately, Emily was saved, but for the rest of her life, she was left with a terrible memory of what would have happened if she had not been found. Story 3. Buried alive in the East. In the 20s of the 20th century, a shocking incident occurred in one of the villages in the East. A young girl named Layla was buried according to local customs. Grave, however, was soon visited by her daughter, who noticed that the grass around the grave had been mowed in an unusual way. When she raised the issue at a village meeting, they soon decided to dig up the grave together with the locals. And again, to their horror, Layla was found alive. Sometimes local customs can cause a tragedy, but in this case, they turned out to be a miracle. Story 4. A lonely soul in the dark. The fourth story comes from the present day. One woman who suffered from depression decided to commit suicide. After she was found, she was pronounced dead. However, when she was buried, some neighbors began to hear sounds from the grave. This time, she was found alive after several days in her grave. This story reminds us how important it is to seek help and open up to others. Life can sometimes be so exciting that it would seem there is no way out. Story 5. A unique case in the field of criminology. The last story happened in the early 2000s, when a man's body was found in an abandoned area. He was considered a victim of a crime, but it soon became clear that he was not dead, but in a deep coma. That's it. Thanks for watching this video to the end. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss even more amazing stories.